I'm back. Welcome to United Comic Universe. I'm Fenrir Moon. Today we're going to be talking about Black Panther and Black Widow by like an hour to 30-minute live screen and maybe more. Never know. It all depends how the live go. You know how we feeling about the whole situation. Now, I didn't get too deep into the research because I just watched a video not too long ago about this YouTuber. She was saying that Chaz Bosman is actually unhappy with Marvel right now. The reason why is simply because they are actually trying to move him out of Black Panther and move Shuri in. Like he had to pass down the mantle. Um, I don't see what him so upset about. I mean, for as like some of the reports that I did remember back in the past, he was actually pretty much like he was getting tired of doing the salute in Wakanda forever. He's got tired of people come up him at Black Panther. That's some of the reports that I have received or like I have like read. So if you actually frowning upon on a character that made you big than what you actually are, why would you actually start shunning on the character? Now, I speculated that they possibly would be actually going into. I mean, I said on multiple videos, I speculated, what's up? Yo, what's shaking game? Nothing much. What's up, man? What's up with you? Big the snake. How's it going, man? Good morning. How you doing? So yeah, so he got the role. Now they're taking it away from him. It would be a little yeah, it would be a little upsetting because this role that actually made Chaz with Bosman, this role made him because if I mean I know he did like 42, the story of Jackie Robinson. I finally saw that, and I know he did the James Brown documentary movie. I only saw clips. I had never really seen that. Like, oh really? I never heard that he didn't like Black Panther. If that is the case, I agree with. Yeah, he didn't want like one of the stories that I one of the information that I found out about. Like he was at a speech and people want him to do the Wakanda sign. He didn't really want to do it. So his mother was upset with him simply because he didn't do it. So he came back and did it. But the reason why he didn't do it because he was getting tired of doing it. He getting tired of all this Black Panther hype for the information that I researched and found. So yes, now they getting rid of his character to actually go more towards bringing Shuri in as the Black Panther. Now, some of my Black Panther videos I already predicted that that's where they was gonna go since they were talking about Namor and Doctor Doom. It's basically because the news way of giving that. Yeah, true. Yep. Yeah, you're right. And so therefore, like I predicted that they was gonna actually go with that storyline, but I didn't expect it wasn't going to be this soon. I expect they wasn't set up everything pretty much in the second movie that Black Panther don't do his Black Panther thing. Chaz be T'Challa into a certain, and then at the proper end of that movie, that's when they probably try to actually or the middle of the movie, switch the man over to Shuri because it is a storyline that he actually did pass down to Shuri, pass down the Black Panther to Shuri, and they actually have Shuri as Black Panther comic books out there right now. And it was a point in time that Bastet, the goddess that gave them the power, the heart-shaped herb, she didn't approve of that mantle being passed down to Shuri, so she took the Black Panther away from Shuri. But T'Challa always been in the mix of everything, but it's like he got to the point that he probably got to the point that he got so arrogant to the point that he got so much fame from Black Panther that he started like, I really don't want to do this right now. I'm tired of doing this salute. It's a lot of celebrities that actually does that and still does do that. I mean, like for instance, like yeah, same here. We all know Disney had the female agenda. I just don't think it happened this early. I figured he would get at least 3 black people. So yeah, I did too. But if he actually, I thought the same way too. I thought it would be like, you know, like I was saying, like it'll be later down the line, not this soon, but it come to the point that he probably pushed up he probably pushed it up. They probably jumped more toward, they probably skipped a whole skip just to bring Shuri in, simply because he started not like wanting to be T'Challa to that degree no more. Because you remember when he first came out with it and he was being T'Challa, he was all excited about being T'Challa. Like one time he even said on Ellen, the TV show, was like, I feel like I'm a mayor, you know, because how much love he's getting. He had kids came up to him and saying things like that. Yeah, I get what you're saying. All right, thanks, man. Appreciate that. And he's coming up. You know, he's saying all these. He had little kids come up to him saying he's the, like when he did Civil War. He said he had kids come up to him saying that, you know, you were his he was their favorite character. You know, he had all this love and support. So of course, you know, if you're not disciplined, all that fame and all that power and all that stuff like that elevate your head. And then all of a sudden you start saying things you shouldn't be saying. You start acting towards his character you shouldn't be acting towards it. And Marvel doesn't need Chadwick Boseman. You know, they would just go with someone else. But you see what they're doing. They're not replacing, as far as I can tell, they're not going to replace him as Black Panther. They're just going to replace him as Shuri, as a female, Shuri as Black Panther. They're not bringing in another male, because if they're doing that, that is a smart thing, because everybody knows that Chadwick Boseman is T'Challa. I mean, the movie made over 1.3 billion, maybe more. He's the Black Panther. So if they're going to go with that route, if they're going to X him out, they might don't bring in another Black Panther, male Black Panther, and then they're pretty much my expectation, my perception. I think it actually going to actually kill the Black Panther series. You know, I just hope that they actually can work things out and actually continue to keep Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa. And, you know, because even though when she was the Black Panther, he still was in the mix. Like I was saying before, the reason how the story went, that you had Dr. Doom, you had Namor, and you did have Shuri as Black Panther. But the reason why, because T'Challa and Dr. Doom went head up, and Dr. Doom beat T'Challa really, really, really bad, almost killed him. And then T'Challa started going into this. If you remember the deleted scenes in Black Panther, and you remember when his dad, T'Chaka, came back, and he was standing and he was looking at these ruins, like these sculptures and stuff. Yeah, most actors understand the multitude of playing these characters, but some just don't get it, like Brie Larson. And if we are saying it true, not even now, Chasman. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If that all went down with Chadwick Boseman, that's really terrible. You know what I'm saying? But this, like I said, I didn't do heavy research on it. I just saw a YouTuber did a video on it. So I would do more research on this to see what actually play out in the long run. But you know, yeah, a lot of these actors and stuff is getting like really big head. I mean, and they don't realize this is like the beginning of the movie. This is the first movie of these movies. I mean, cause look what happened with Iron Man. What's his name? Taron Howard. He's supposed to be what? He's supposed to be War Machine. He was in the first Iron Man. The reason why he say he left Iron Man simply because of money issues. He's supposed to get this certain amount of money, but he didn't get this certain amount. I'm gonna say, like example, he's supposed to get $8 million for the second movie, and they took his millions down to $4 million, and he didn't like that. He was saying that Robert Downey Jr. didn't have his bag. They thought they were brothers and stuff like that. So he's saying that's the reason why he left. One of the reasons why he left, because they cut his money. Dude, really? Seriously? I don't know what's up with a lot of these actors with these big heads like this. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course you're gonna do the movie if the money is right. That's why a lot of actors out there, they have sucky movies, because they just did it because the money was right. Okay, make a quick buck. Now, we all know how Marvel is as a franchise. I mean, Kevin Feige, they took it to a whole nother level. you know, you bring up a good point with that storyline. That could just make Shuri Black Panther just that for that movie. Doesn't mean they will replace him, place forever. Yeah, it doesn't mean that they will replace him forever because at a point in time that T'Challa actually did came back. The reason, like he's saying, he was beaten so badly, and he went to the shaman, them forbidden shamans in Wakanda that they shouldn't be doing, and he started learning different type of magic, different type of necromancy he was doing. He shouldn't be doing that because that's forbidden, and he did that so he can actually be able to defeat Doom and Namor and all that. Because at this point in time, Namor already hit Wakanda with that big ocean wave, and they already referenced that in the end game, you know. And so, not like reference that they was hit by the tidal wave, but the earthquake, and so, in all reality, in the end of it, I didn't finish this whole series, but in all reality, that this whole plan was done by Black Panther, and Shuri set this whole thing up. That they set it up to give the Black Panther mantle to Shuri, for they can actually manipulate Dr. Doom, because they knew Dr. Doom was watching them the whole time. He actually wanted to orchestrate it, if I remember right, orchestrated Namor to actually cause Namor and T'Challa to have a war between each other in that big ocean wave. Now, which in that series, that T'Challa was actually keeping Namor safe in Wakanda, you know. And then in the series, you know, Shuri and all them even have Storm in there. That's the reason, even that series, that's the reason why he broke up with Storm, for they can do this plan, you know, because he was in this series, he was married to Storm, but he actually broke off the marriage Storm. Like, he didn't want to do anything with Storm. He's not doing the Black Panther right. And Shuri, she's not really liking what her brother doing and all that stuff like that. It's a really great story, and all to come down to that was all planned for they can get closer to Dr. Doom and take him down. So, oh yeah, I totally forgot about Terrence Howard. He came straight off Hustle and Flow, so he was trying to get paid. I get it, but he should have waited. He would have had more leverage once he got War Machine. Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm saying. Some of these actors, because I mean, you got to understand, Don Cheadle was that replaced Terrence Howard. Ain't no way he was getting more money like that. He probably got paid less money for this role than Terrence Howard at the beginning. Everybody know that once you start doing the movie more and more, your characters get more. I mean, because I remember in the theaters when I went and watched Iron Man, and then the first one, and then, well, actually I watched all of them in the theater, but we're talking about the first one right now. So when I went and watched the Iron Man in the theaters, this scene when Terrence Howard looked at the suits and said, next time. Everybody was like, oh snap. Everybody was waiting for this. And then when the Iron Man 2 come out, everybody looking for Terrence Howard. They was like, what happened to Terrence Howard? And then you come and find out that's the reason what happened with Terrence Howard, simply because he wasn't doing right. Because his money got cut in half, he didn't like it. But I know they got to get paid for the merchandise. The merchandise alone that really makes the money for all these movies and stuff is the merchandise. What awesome is that he don't even have an Iron Man merchandise. I mean, he probably did when it first came out, but then then he left, and then nobody probably don't even know that now. Yeah, I was so excited for Terrence Howard to get that. Yeah, I was excited about that. That's I was like, oh snap, because I was a big fan of Terrence Howard. I mean, for the longest time, pretty much everything that Terrence Howard was doing for the longest time, I always watch it, because he always put that emotion, that type of acting, that emotion in there. Right now, since he left over some, because to me, when I read that, if it's true, you know, but this is all like Hollywood talk, so smoke and mirrors. So if this is true, that kind of like kind of made me step away back from Terrence Howard, because I'm thinking that he actually truly cared for the fans. But if you do that, that's all you thinking about is the money, and you already have money, and you thinking about, because the Hustle and Flow was a huge success. I think they run an Oscar or something from that. I'm not really sure, but I know it was a huge success. And you don't, to me, you don't really care about the fans to that degree. You don't care about the fans at all, because let's face it, all these actors and stuff should be caring about us a lot more than what they do, because if it weren't for us, they won't have a job. We support them. You know what I'm saying? We go to these theaters, we make these videos, we do these live chats for them because we're a fan of them. And then like Chadwick Boseman, he talking that crap. If that's true, he talking that crap. You know, like he don't want to do this, he don't want to do Black Panther no more, and all that stuff. And like try to do the Wakanda symbol and all that stuff. That's not good for the fans. That really gonna. I mean, that's gonna make people step away from you. I mean, cause think about what I'm a huge fan of Robert Downey Jr. Huge fan. I've been following him a long time, you know. But when they was shooting, this is from what the director says, when they was actually shooting the reshoots with the Endgame, shooting reshoot with Endgame, and when Iron Man with this Iron Man, he did that snap, they wanted to do reshoots with that, and they pretty much had to almost like beg Robert Downey Jr. to come back just to do a reshoot on that, because he had to grow his beards and all that stuff. I'm like, dude, Robert Downey, yeah, huge big fan of Robert Downey Jr. But then I'm like, come on, Robert Downey Jr., man, come on. I'm glad he did it. Because I guess he decided to say, you know, I got to do this for the fans, and he went and came and do it. I'm glad he did it. Now, with that type of attitude, like when Robert Downey Jr. really didn't want to come back, he really didn't want to do that, and people kept begging him to come back. The directors kept begging him to come back. Now, Robert Downey Jr. act that way, okay? He shouldn't act that way at the beginning, but he act that way because he have his foot in the Hollywood. Like you and myself, we huge big fans of Robert Downey Jr. We'll probably get a little upset with it, but we'll say, okay, it's Robert Downey Jr. We're still gonna go watch it because I'm gonna, you know, Dr. Dolittle and all that, you know. Still a big fan of Robert Downey Jr. because he made his mark into everyone's homes for years. He built it up in years and years. And then you got to realize a lot of stuff going to Hollywood that we don't know why these actors acting like that, you know. But Chadwick Boseman, I really didn't follow you. I didn't follow your career at all until I heard you was coming out in Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? That's the first time I truly actually really paid attention to you. Like I was saying, he did 42. That was the Jackie Robinson documentary. I didn't watch that until later. I mean, he did James Brown documentary. I'm still trying to find that. I want to watch that. And he also did a documentary of this famous African-American lawyer, Truso. I can't really remember his name, but he was a famous lawyer, African-American lawyer back in the day. Those three big documentary films that I really didn't watch until he did Black Panther. I think the lawyer one came after Black Panther, but I really didn't watch none of his stuff. So you get this big fame. Now you Black Panther. Now everyone's loving you. You get this fame. Now you don't want to continue with the salutes. Now you don't want to do this. Now you don't want to do that. That's also go to show. Now they trying to say, okay, we'll get rid of you. We'll just get rid of you and just bring Shuri in, you know? So why, I mean, you started it, Chad, by actually doing that stupidity thing. If that is true, you started it. So you can't be unhappy with a franchise and you out there doing and saying things or don't want to do things that made you, like that franchise made your career. That's how people notice you. You cannot, think about it, if you have a business and you have a person out there supposed to represent one of your character in a fan or a bunch of fans or somebody or you had some speech where he was at and they say do the Wakanda symbol and you don't do it because you don't feel like doing it. Yes, if I was the head of Marvel, yes, I'd be looking at a way to get rid of you too. Because that right there, you're not representing my brand. You're not representing who you work for. It's like when you go out and like a 9 to 5, a regular 9 to 5. If you wear the uniform and you go out and you do something misrepresenting the company, they get rid of you. Simple as that. So stop thinking that this movie and all this stuff is about you, Chad. It's not. It is about Marvel and the fans. Really not say it's the fans, but about Marvel and how they look upon you, because you got a whole bunch of fans coming at you. If you start shunning that, you're shunning the fans, you're shunning the money that the fans will come there. Because think about it, if you do that, nobody ain't gonna want to come to the theater and watch Chad. Nobody's not gonna want to come to the theater. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I love the first one, but I ain't gonna watch the second. I'm gonna wait till it come to DVD because he was he was a dick, you know. And so also with Black Panther, I mean not Black Panther, but Black Widow. I heard a lot of people with Black Widow is actually getting mad with Black Widow, not mad with Black Widow, but mad because they're not really promoting Black Widow that much. They're not showing that much. You know, you can't. I mean, you can find different articles, but you can't really find that much detail like you can find in other things, like other movies. You can find more details in it. It's the reason why, because this is the first movie to this phase. So this movie here, gonna, as far as my understanding, as far as my perception go, this is the first movie of this phase. Okay, this movie gonna start pretty much everything. Okay, so they don't want to actually give you that much information about Black Widow, because a lot of this, because look at Endgame. Endgame opened up you see how they did Endgame, because think about it, like even with the trailers they came out, them trailers they came out for Endgame was fake, you know. Yeah, Black Widow do look dope. I definitely want to see that. Yeah, I mean, we witnessed that in yeah, you're right. So, you know, they don't like an Endgame, like the trailers they faked. I mean, you like when they was walking up to go back in time. In the movie, Fat Thor is there. But in the trailer, Fat Thor's not there. They even did that with the Infinity War. You remember Infinity War when they had Incredible Hulk running? You know what I'm saying? With the fight, he wasn't in there. It was a Banner in the Hulkbuster suit. So it ties a lot of things. That's the reason why they didn't want to do that with that's why they showed that with Infinity War, because think about it, if they actually showed the Hulkbuster and all this right here, it would have killed the direct storyline, because everybody have been knowing what's going on with everything. Everybody been able to predict how Endgame was going to end, like go down. Same with Black Widow. I believe because since it's the first movie and everybody been waiting for Black Widow for so long, you know, I think they put a lot of things in Black Widow for, and if they show too much information, we would actually be able to predict where everything going to go. And we know that Marvel don't want that to happen. And I think they're going to introduce a whole lot of things. Oh, wow. Somebody did that, huh? Yeah. So yeah, Black Bake the Snake, don't even worry about that. We'll just continue having our fun, okay? So I know it's some people just, you know, haven't reached that level yet, you know, to see past the negativity and things like that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Bob. Yeah, so so let's go ahead and continue doing what we do. It's just ignore that person right there, because that person, put it this way, the person that like is racist saying that to me in the chat, it's not going to hurt me, because this person don't know no better. This person haven't yet to grow up. This person haven't yet to mature, you know? And so you got to also think about this. Look at this example. You have a candy bar. You take the wrapper off the candy bar. You throw the wrapper away. Do you worry about trash? You don't worry about trash. So let's continue having our fun. And I hope whoever that dude person is, Nick, whatever, I hope you actually reach enlightenment and be a better person in life, because we're all family here. So I'm not going to let you hurt me. I'm not going to let you hurt anybody in the chat. So let's everybody continue to just have fun. Don't worry about trash. Apparently he'll grow up sooner or later. If not, we can't worry about it. Long we grow, reach enlightenment, continue to have fun and do the thing we love, enjoy a comic, enjoy each other company. Let's continue to grow and leave that person in the past. All right. So I block him and send a reap. Oh, thanks a lot though. Bait the Snake. Thank you so much for actually doing that. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's just rare to see actual people in the comic community act like that. I think it's just a bot. I have experienced that on my live chat before, also, and I want. That's cool. And I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that what you did, and I appreciate the information and stuff like that, you know. Um so yeah, so that's why I pretty much think with Black Widow, they not gonna, because it's the first movie, they not gonna have too much. I think they put so much into that movie. Because I did hear reports that Black Widow possibly will be coming back. Now, I do know that the three ladies that are actually in Black Widow, you know, Natasha, she's a Black Widow, and her sister and her other sister is Black Widows too. Now, I did heard about the young blonde sister. I did heard that they possibly be actually moving her into Natasha's place, because right now Natasha is actually dead. We all know that she dead. She didn't survive. But in this movie, Black Widow is actually based at the Civil War. Now I'm talking about this, but then I came with a thinking. I'm like, how that going to happen? I don't understand that. How that's why I say that's probably why they ain't saying too much with Black Widow, because there's an unanswered question in there. For one, is like, okay, yeah, man, this comic community is open and supporting group. Don't want people to get discouraged by a few bad apples. Keep doing your thing. You're doing good. What I missed. All right, cool, man. Thanks, Bake the Snake. Yeah, man, I love comic communities. They is really awesome communities. Hey, what's up, Metaphor? Man, and you know, you really don't get that many times. I mean, I had that happen to me before in one of my live chats like months ago, but you know, I pretty much ignored stuff like that, because we can't let idiots like that kill our mood and our fun to enjoy and discuss the things we love. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I appreciate your support, though, man. I really do. I really do appreciate your support. And because this right here came through with a question with the Black Widow. Now, I heard reports that Black Widow might be coming back. Natasha might be coming back. And then I heard that this movie, Black Widow, is actually based after Civil War. Okay. But they saying they trying to bring another Black Widow in, the young blonde hair, her young sister. How would that work? Because won't it actually affect the Infinity Saga? Won't it actually mess that whole Infinity Saga storyline up? Because think about it, Black Widow is still a part of the Infinity Saga because it dated after the Civil War. So it still got some connection with the Infinity Saga. Now, my dilemma is, if they do bring in the young blonde-headed Black Widow to replace Natasha, why is this girl's not an Endgame? You see what I mean? I know I kind of like throw it out there, but you need to drop by some auction. Oh yeah, yeah, man. I'll be trying to get by. I'll be trying to get to each one of y'all channels when y'all doing live, and actually you know, show y'all support, check out the options and stuff like that. But you know, sometimes I don't like to say this too much, but sometimes my health problem get too bad that I can't even really do anything. You know, that's why I'm glad that UCU family member Jonas Show, he actually be reading some of these articles for me. That's why some of the recently that you see most of his articles, that's because I'm not really feeling that well. You know, especially when my health problem hit me really hard. So yeah, I do drop by and I do like up. Every time y'all do go live, I do drop by and like up to you guys, and I do share y'all live streams and stuff on my Facebook and Twitter, so I can, you know, help y'all support y'all that way. You know, but sometimes, you know, I can't even drop by all the time, but I try to, you know. So yeah, I do more of that if I can. I surely will. Exactly. Yeah, they say it's a different timeline metaphor, but they did also state it. Wait a second. Wait, what do you? What's it? Cool, thanks. Well, yeah, I did thought it probably would be another timeline. I hope you feel better. All right, cool. Thanks, metaphor. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I hope I feel. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it, man. And yeah, I heard that metaphor. I heard that I would think it'd probably be a different timeline, but with the report I did heard about it, that it was going to be after Civil War. that's what it based off, that gap between the Civil War into the next movie come out. What's the next movie came out? I can't remember at this time, but that's what they actually said was based from. So I don't know what kind of different storyline timeline they're gonna actually go on. You know what I'm saying? So if they actually going with a different timeline, that's possibly what they probably actually going to do to actually help me understand my dilemma in my head, trying to figure out what's going on. That's probably why they're not showing that much of Black Widow, because they don't want to actually reveal that actually Black Widow, Natasha is actually in a different timeline, but actually after that Civil War in that timeline. You know, it could be that way. I hope it that way. I hope it that they actually explain a lot more of the things that will actually be occur in the the MCU universe, you know, because I'm don't understand how that going to happen. So you know, we'll figure out later, or we'll find out later when the movie come out, or more the more when they get. I don't think they're going to give too much about Black Widow, like more revealed that much. I don't think they're going to do that, because I think this is going to be a huge movie for the MCU universe. I think it's going to be a big one, you know. Kind of the versus timeline is the key. Yeah, it's the key. I think it's supported. You have to think about chronology and timeline. It happened chronologically after different timeline. I think it's supposed to be our timeline, but maybe they could be the twist of the timeline. Yeah, you're right. I see. Bait the Snake, me and Bait the Snake is pretty much on the same thing. As far as I knew, they were saying that it was actually on the same timeline as Civil War, but you know, today is Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday, but you know, 2 different Sundays, one is each every time. Yeah, but can you even, the type of timeline they doing, can you even base it off Saturday and Sunday? Because we still don't, even our Saturday and Sunday is still the timeline. Unless I'm misunderstanding what you're saying, because how that going to happen? They will literally have to actually truly explain that very detailedly for us to actually understand what's going on, because it says Civil War of that one. I know the timeline is crazy, but it specifically said after Civil War. It could be BBC Cap. Yeah, Cap could have messed that up when he actually went back, but think about it like this. Yeah, every decision create a branch. Yeah, I totally understand where you come from. When he went back there, they had to be, as a good point. Yeah, they had to actually go there and actually be really careful. If not, the timeline will actually go off. But they had to put the I get what you're going from, metaphor. I'm thinking while I'm talking. That's why you see me having pauses. I'm thinking what you said. I see your point on that one. Yeah, because technically Captain America is supposed to come straight back, but he didn't. He actually had a whole life, which come up with what happened to the other Captain America was in that timeline. Because in the other timelines, we saw Tony Stark, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, and all them. We saw them in that timeline. But what happened to the other Captain America when Captain America went back in that timeline and actually spent that time with Peggy Carter? Peggy Carter. What happened to that one? So that is a good point. Technically, her sacrifice hadn't yet happened yet in the timeline. That's why Gamora is back. Okay, Gamora is back. I think not because they went back in path and actually bring. But how? So the time limit, the time zone, time line is actually pretty much screwed up big time then, because they actually brought back, because the actually past Gamora already came back in the future, and you remember and she wasn't at the end of the end game with everybody else. She was missing. She She left because yeah, it is completely broken badly because I mean, like what happened? I mean, because she come back. She never went back in the past. But why? Because they destroyed the time machine. Okay. And then when past Thanos came in the future, that messed up this timeline, you know, and that the Gamora, because in the deleted scene, Captain Metal went to another timeline when he was back. He couldn't just live and grow old and end up on the bench. He would have to come back to our timeline. Yeah, the Ancient One did warn him, and yeah, Captain America did went to. Also, when he went back, yeah, he did went to another timeline. Back in then when he went back. Hey, what's up, Second Street Marvel? What's up, man? How's it going? No, he is old, but he went back with Peggy and lived with her his whole life. Then jumped back. Yeah, that's what Homeboy was saying. Yeah, so yeah, he did went back, and by him going back, he's supposed to, because they supposed to take the stones back to actually put the timeline back in order. For my understanding, I could be wrong, but for my understanding. But when Captain America went back, he supposed to come back right after he dropped out all the stones, but he didn't. He grew old. He had a whole life with Peggy. They possibly could have had some kids. You know, anything could have happened back then. But that would affect the timeline, like I was saying. What happened to the other Captain America? What happened with him? And then also with after she died, she jumped back to as close as he could to. Because when they was sending him back, sent Captain America back, he supposed to went there for. He said, Incredible Hulk said he could take how long he want to take, but to us it'd be like 5 seconds. So he took years, and I just don't know. The timeline is so screwed. I just don't know. Yeah, he had to meet his young self, right? But they didn't show that, so I don't know what they could have done with that. Yeah, he could become a different superhero. Now, so is you saying Captain America's the reason why the timeline is messed up? No, I mean he contributed to it along with everybody else. I mean, look what Thor did. Thor contributed to that too. I mean, only person that looked like they were only a few people that he should have never stayed with Peggy. No, he shouldn't have. He should have just went and delivered the stones and came back like he's supposed to. But I mean, he's not the only one that destroyed the timeline. I mean, they actually started destroying the timeline when they was actually doing them test runs. If you think about it, you know what I'm saying? But the timeline got destroyed. I think only a few people actually went in the timeline and actually did what they're supposed to do. And I think it was Rocket and War Machine and Nebula. They actually went in to do what they're supposed to do, but you know, things didn't work out. Before everybody else, they did something to affect the time that they shouldn't have affected. I mean, look at the one with Ant-Man when he went and actually shocked Iron Man, the past Iron Man. That never happened. So by them by them going there to the timeline and doing that, technically that should have affected the timeline right then and there. And then when Captain America saw Captain America, that affected the timeline. And when Captain America said Hell Hydra, that affected the timeline. You know, all the things they went back for, as soon as they went back, they already affected the timeline. So everybody affected the timeline, but it's best to try to actually do what you're supposed to do. Yeah, he shouldn't. I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, Captain America, This is Captain America. Everyone loved Captain America. You know, I don't know everyone loved him, but I'm a huge fan of Captain America. But then you gotta think about it. This man, he only had one love in his life, and that was Peggy Carter. And he see this opportunity to actually be with her and love her like he set out to do back in the day before he became the icicle. And this is the opportunity right here. Most likely that's the reason why he took it, because he's seen his opportunity. He probably could have felt like, you know, this is the only chance he got to actually be with the person that he loved so greatly. This is the person that all the plans that he planned to have a family with is her. So I see this opportunity, I'm going to take it. That could actually happen. And Peggy Carter, why I keep calling this woman Peggy? Peggy, she most likely she could have actually broke it off with the young Captain America back in the past before she can date this Captain America. I never know what's going on, but you know, it's plenty of reasons that I wish they would actually show that could have happened in the past. That's the reason why he stayed with Peggy, you know, and then also make you think, right? That is American. It's also make you think, was Captain America working for S.H.I.E.L.D. back there? Is Captain America the one that actually helped S.H.I.E.L.D. to become what S.H.I.E.L.D. actually is today? Because we see S.H.I.E.L.D., we see Sword, you know what I'm saying? So, of course, Sword is coming out because they showed that at the end of Captain Marvel when Samuel Jackson, when he was standing, that's supposed to be Sword. Now, I'm guessing that they don't actually start focus on more like the agencies now, like S.H.I.E.L.D., Sword, and his AIM. And it's also, I'm thinking that they won't be bringing another department of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Shang-Chi, because they actually have like a department that does that in China, you know. So I think that was they don't actually start focus on that. So it's a possibility, like they just did a TV show, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., but that ended. So they just did it, but you know what I'm saying? It's just ended not too long ago. But I'm guessing what they probably going to do, I think they probably going to come out with a show called Sword of Agent, like the Shield of Agents, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., be the Agent of Sword. I think they possibly going to do that because I think they don't start focus on that. So only reason why we know they will get directly focus on that if they actually be able to actually pull off this Captain Marvel too, you know. Yeah, it does affect us. I mean, because what he's still a different timeline. But what if the captain was actually a Hydra? Yeah, it could have been. He could have. I mean, he could have went back. He could have went back then and actually became Hydra. But I seriously doubt it with Captain America, because let's say actually butcher his character, or let's say just make up a whole nother character for him. That won't be Captain America, because Captain America don't stand for like such injustice that what Hydra is doing. I don't think that will ever happen unless they actually decided to change his character, in which I think a whole lot of people be actually upset about that. I don't think that will be a smart move on Marvel. I said what they can possibly do. They could possibly come out with comics like that. Captain become leader of Hydra in the comics. Okay, in the comics. Okay, I didn't know that. So in the comics, he became leader of Hydra. Yeah, that's cool. They did a test run with that to probably see how that flows, you know. But we talking about the movies here. I don't think too many fans will actually be happy with that, because you don't only have comic fans that go watch these movies. You actually have people that not a fan of comics. Fan of the movies, not a fan of the comics. So if that actually does happen in the comics, our comic fans like ourselves would be like, okay, that did happen in comics. That'll be more understandable for us. But what if the people that doesn't read the comics? That won't be understanding for them, and that possibly can kill the money. That could possibly kill the movie franchise. And I don't think Marvel them are actually going to do that, because you got to think about it. Captain America is everybody. Like, he's the ultimate person that represents America. So why would they actually tarnish him on the big movie screen? Now, they did it in the comics, like Metaphor was saying, but I don't think they're going to do it on the movies. I think that'll be a huge mistake if they do that. But we all do know some I don't think Kevin Feige would do that. Yeah. Yeah, he did say Hell Hydra. Yeah, they played on that in there, but it could have actually. That's why it would be the best twist. Too. Yeah, it would be a best twist, but once again, I don't think the fans will. I don't think the people that actually going to see it, like not comic fans like you and I and the rest of us, I don't think they'll be happy to see that. That's the only thing about it. I don't think they'll be happy to see it, and I don't want. I don't want our franchise to get. I don't want like the movie. It will be a good. It will be a great twist. Yes, like I keep saying, like yeah, it'll be a great twist. It'll be nice. You know what I'm saying? For the comic books reader fans, but I don't think for the movie itself it would be. You know, so that's my whole thing. Yeah, unless they go with that, then I can see if you're talking about that type of way metaphor. If they're doing with scrolls, yeah, Secret Invasion, yeah, I can see it that way. That's not the real Captain America. Yeah, I can see it that way. I didn't even go in that angle. I didn't even see, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even go thinking about it in that angle. Now, if they actually does it that way, like they did Samuel Jackson and Captain what it was, Spider-Man Far From Home. Yeah, that's totally understandable, and I think people will actually get that because they already set that tone in the MCU already. So yeah, people will get that. That would be a great twist for the movies. I didn't even think about it that angle. Glad you pointed that out. Nice. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I gotta almost get up. Man, I gotta get up out of here because it's getting late. But check this out. I totally understand where you're coming from with that metaphor because think about it. Okay, now if you ever go back to Guardians of the Galaxy, what it was, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, when they took the power gem to the collector. Okay, now when the camera starts zooming in on the collector when he turn around, right, you can see look, okay, say like you watching the TV right now and you see and you know the collector standing right here and you see the camera start zooming, but you see some of these like the little cages he have with them different beings in. Now, if you look up to the top part right here, you see Howard the Duck just standing there. But look down directly from that, you will see a being that have a red suit on, right? But he kind of like looked at this way. He's not looking directly at the camera. And he kind of lift his head up. You can see how long his head is. But if you actually look at it really closely, you can actually see that they look like Beta Ray Bill. Okay. Now I was like, when I was watching, I'm like, oh snap, that's Beta Ray Bill right there. And he had the same head and everything, right? But then when I went looking it up, James Gunn said that wasn't Beta Ray Bill. Then who was it? Like that's what I'm basically referring what metaphor was basically saying, that they could just say anything. And that's how it's supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? that's the downfall. Possibly. When the Soldier series coming up, this literally happened right before Secret Empire. We have also. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what y'all saying. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think the Winter Soldier series, upcoming series, I think they're gonna be focused more like Second Street Movies. You know, I think they're gonna focus too much. I think they're gonna focus more on like the agencies, like because that pretty much the Winter Soldier. That's pretty much what the whole movie's almost about, is actually taking down projects what's Project Insight, Strike, Shield, Hydra. They was more focusing on that. So if they're actually going to go with that, they might be focusing more on these agencies and taking down these agencies and stuff like that, because they got Patriot in there now. So fact, it's basically a blend of Secret War, Secret Empire. They are moving into. I think they were going to. Yeah, And I hope they do come up with Budapest. I hope they do show Budapest in Black Widow. I hope they do show Budapest because I really love to see what happened so memorable for Clint and Natasha in Budapest. I like to see what happened with that. And metaphor, I think they are going to go with that. The angle you're talking about when who was Professor X, I think it was Beast at one point in time, Black Panther, Richard Reed, and I can't remember, and Black Bolt, all them like had like an infinity gem, right? But then you got to think about it. The infinity gem is destroyed. So how would that play on that storyline? The director said that the infinity gems is not really destroyed. They reduced down to atoms, which doesn't make any sense because Thanos said that he destroyed the infinity gem. But we'll see what the story will be when they come out with it. Okay. Oh, so now, okay, so they cast. Oh, okay. So they did end up actually casting him for Osborn, or they actually just saying that they cast him for it. I mean, who confirmed that? Because me personally, I don't really take all this like confirmation, like this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, unless Kevin Feige pretty much say this could happen, or unless the actor pretty much come out and say this is what I've been cast for. That's when I actually take it. So I haven't say anything. Bell, he's Kristen Bell, Cass Bell. You can truly destroy them though. Yeah, you can destroy them. I mean, but it was just funny how they decided to change it up and say that they really wasn't destroyers up to is in atoms. They just atoms now. That is really funny because I was really hoping at least in Infinity Saga, I was really hoping that they would actually bring Nemesis out. Nemesis, of course everyone know this. Nemesis, she's the creator of the Infinity Gems. You know what I'm saying? So I was hoping that they would, show her. She could have actually been the soul of the Soul Stone. I mean, what they're gonna do is they're gonna actually go. If we're gonna actually see Adam Warlock truly this time, you know what I'm saying? But I say this before I get up out of here. But one thing that I think they switched up the scripts with Guardians of the Galaxy, because I think when the Endgame wrote the script, they put Thor and Star Lord together, so they supposed to been actually journeying with that, So, and everybody was raving about it. Everybody was interested. Everybody wanted to see Thor and Star Lord interact. We wanted to see that in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and stuff like that, right? But then when James Gunn was rehired, they said, nope, Thor's out of there. From the last report I heard about it might don't be true, but that's what I heard last. So I'm guessing that's the reason why a lot of the I think if you actually go back and look at a lot of the MC movies, you could see where the storylines started changing and didn't make any sense, and that's why a lot of things have a lot of holes in it. Because if you actually watching the storyline when Josh Whedon was doing it, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. It's like the Thanos look totally different and act totally different than the one that they had in the Endgame. You look at the storyline, because I actually believe that they were actually going to go. I mean, cause think about it. The way they had this Thanos in the Endgame and all that, right? If you like pretty much take out any of his people or something like that, he coming for you pretty much. Or you try to stand up against him. Or basically you trying to stand up against him like you big and you bad, he'll actually come at you, right? Now, if I'm saying it right, if not, y'all please let me know in the comments down below. Thanos basically reset them across the universe. Okay, so in the comics, if they were truly destroyed, the universe would have ceased to exist. Okay, how's that? I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't know everything about comics, but how was that? How the universe would cease to exist if the stones is created? I mean, destroyed in the comics. You say at least in the comics, because in the MCU movies, that is totally out. That's not. Thanos basically reset them across the world. Oh, okay. Now I have the books over there. I have to just go back and read and do more research on them. But yeah, so because back in the day when you remember when Ronan the Accuser had killed Thanos' minion dude, and Thanos turned around and he just looked at him. Now, only reason why Thanos didn't wipe Ronan the Accuser away from that, two reasons, but because he killed someone. He took someone's life, and that's what Thanos loved to please Lady Death. And two, he didn't need Ronan to actually go get the gem. He could have actually did it himself. They showed that in the end game, but he always could have got the gem, but he wanted him to go try to get the gem. And you remember when Thanos, right? When Ronan had that gem, when Ronan had that gem, and Ronan told Thanos that he's not going to give him the gem, he's going to actually go for him. Now you know good and well that this Thanos was actually when he came and got him. But the reason why he wanted Ronan to come to him, he wanted that battle because Thanos in the comics, he want that type of thing. He loved the battle, he loved the death. The reason why he loved the death to please Lady Death. If you actually look at the storyline, you could actually see when the storyline started changing, because I think they was actually going with the comics with the storyline with Jeff Wheaton was actually Jess Wheaton, whatever, was actually Josh was actually running it. I think they was actually going more with the storyline, because like one of his minions ought to defeat Death. I mean, ought to defeat Earth. He had to court Death, and he turned around and smiled. Court Death, that's supposed to be a hint, Lady Death, and he turned around and smiled soon after he said that, but they changed so much of everything. One person, Adam Warlock, is also in comics that stones are powerful enough to destroy themselves. Go read. Okay, so it's on that one. I check that out then. Yeah, I check that out. Yeah, so I mean, I just love the Woody. I mean, I just love the actually how they doing with the storylines. Give us a whole bunch of stuff that I don't. Don't get me wrong. I love the gaps. I love the puzzle pieces we try to put together and everything. It's comment suicide. It's in game and start. Who committed suicide at the beginning of Endgame? I'm sorry, I'm lost on that one. But because at the beginning of Endgame, no one did that. So I was trying to figure out who did it. But I just love how they put the pieces together, that we all come together and try to talk about these different pieces and put this storyline, like the comic storylines, up to the MCU storyline and stuff like that. It's really great that we actually have the time to actually come together and do things like that. It's really tight. I love what Marvel do. I even love what DC do. Thanos committed suicide. Oh, so he committed suicide in the comic? Oh, okay. Wait. In the comic, right? That's what you're referring to, right? I mean, because the end game, I don't see where he did that. I mean, unless someone could actually point that out to me, I don't see where Thanos actually did that. But as far as I know, he never thought about doing things like that. No, in the movie. Okay, where in the movie did Thanos did that? I know you're talking about the one when you said at the beginning of Endgame. At the beginning of Endgame. Oh, I see what you're saying. By him doing that, that's okay. No, I didn't call that when people come here. That was like the how Thanos is, like in the comics and all that. But in the movie, Thanos is nowhere near like that. Thanos, he didn't wait for people to come to him. Like when the end Thanos, he didn't wait for people to come to him. He went and did it himself. And far as I know, far as him, I still don't understand. Like far as he's committing suicide. Nah, when he actually, even when he wished the stones away, he wasn't planning on committing suicide. He thought he was safe right there on the garden, in the planet of garden, the garden planet. So he wasn't even thinking about suicide. Unless you think that's the reason why he did that because if he still had those stones, he'd be able to defend off the Avengers. He wanted to die since he had pleaded death with the prize. Yeah, but in the end game, that's my whole thing. In the end game, they didn't say anything about him pleasing Lady Death. In the end, like in the Infinity Saga, I think at the beginning of the Infinity Saga, they was planning on going to do that. But then when Josh was out, they changed the storyline. So they act like Lady Death ain't had nothing to do with Thanos. So Thanos did that for himself, at least in this version of Thanos in the MCU. He did it for himself. And he wished his stones away because he already, to himself, he don't please himself. He don't come his own personal mission. So he feel that he needed to kill, he needed to destroy the stones for nobody won't come undo what he did. So he did that. So he thought he was safe on that planet, that garden. And that's the reason, and that's the reason why he was out there living his life. That's the reason why he didn't know no one was coming for him, because he didn't expect the Avengers or anybody to know where he was at. He didn't calculate that Nebula would actually tell them where he was actually at. And he didn't calculate that would actually see that burst of energy of the Infinity Gem destroyed. He didn't calculate in that. He could have calculated in that, but he just didn't care because he already did what he needed to do. Ask yourself why Thanos had no one with him, nobody bodyguarding. When else in the MCU did he have no one with him? Never. Yeah, trust me, dude. Trust me. Metaphor. That's one of my pet peeves with the MCU. Why we didn't see Lady Death? I mean, yes, he pretty much was by himself most of the time and stuff like that, but it still doesn't explain why they didn't mention Lady Death, because he would have did something to indicate that he was actually talking to Lady Death, because he did it through the comics all the time. He let that be known that that's what he's doing. I mean, he could just tell me he needed, because when he spoke, he didn't spoke about him like, his love of his life. He didn't even spoke about the love of his life. He didn't even speak about, I'm not saying spoke, but he didn't even speak about nothing to deal with Lady Death. I mean, because even, okay, think about it. Even when he actually completed the mission, right? When he was at the home, why he wasn't talking to Lady Death? I mean, they show him walking in the garden, picking up the little fruit, whatever he's gonna eat, and walk back to his home. And Lady Death, he didn't speak to her. Now, at that point, if Lady Death, if they was gonna keep Lady Death or incorporate Lady Death in that part of the MCU, that would have been a prime time for them to actually show him, showing that tribute, like showing that offering, that showing something to Lady Death about what he did for her, but it never happened. Okay, yeah. So in the comics, yeah, right, but not in the movies, because I didn't see Ronan speak to Lady Death. Now, it was at one point in time I thought Thanos did talk to Lady Death in Infinity War, when he actually went and talked to the little girl Gamora, and she was asking. Now, at a point in time, I did thought that right there was Lady Death, because then it come and find out that the directors and all them said that was actually still little Gamora, which that didn't make any sense to me. The reason why, because remember when Thanos did the snap and he went through the portal, right? And they pulled him into the Soul War, right? Thanos had no idea where he was at, because thinking about it, because he's looking like this. So he have no idea how he was able to get there. Therefore, he didn't have the wounds he received, and he didn't even have the gauntlet. So therefore, little Gamora pulled him into the Soul World. So therefore, she was more powerful than Thanos ordered to do that. So therefore, she never liked Thanos. She always tried to take Thanos out. This was the opportunity to take Thanos out, because at this point in time, she's a lot more powerful than Thanos in order for her to do that. Why she didn't take him out? That's the reason why I thought that was a little Lady Death, but then they said that was Gamora, little Gamora, and that's why that storyline doesn't make any sense to me at all. Oh, don't get me wrong, Metaphor. I agree with you on that. I mean, I did a video about that was Lady Death. You know what I'm saying? But it just comes down to the facts that the director and them said it wasn't. So, you know, they just tell us anything. They say it wasn't, but it doesn't make no sense why that wouldn't have been Lady Death. It doesn't make any sense why Lady Death wouldn't have been in Thanos' side. It don't make any sense why Thanos kept saying that this is what his mission, he want to do this, and he's not doing it for his lady, his love of his life, Lady Death. A lot of that storyline with Thanos doesn't make any sense because it wasn't Lady Death in it. So they're putting this. I mean, I know, I mean, like I say, man, yeah, they don't try to mislead us, saying that wasn't Lady Death and all that. That was little Gamora and all that stuff like that. But yeah, that's understandable. But at this point in time here, the Infinity Saga is over, for what Kevin Feige said. So therefore, Lady Death never showed up in there. So therefore, that was a totally different Thanos. They didn't have nothing to do with Lady Death. Now, this phase here coming in, they saying that young Thanos might be should be appearing in this phase here, the Eternals, because it was a reporter asked, I think it was at the Brazilian Comic-Con, was a reporter asked Kevin Feige about young Thanos, would it be in the Eternals? And Kevin Feige was like, yeah, I mean, we got the Deviants in there, right? Okay, cool. So they might do a whole different Thanos here. So therefore, with that Thanos here, they might actually introduce the Lady Death, because we all know when Thanos first started off, he wasn't ruthless, he wasn't a murderer, he wasn't all about that. But because he actually had kids in his, you know, that actually loved him, you know, that he actually had friends, and he actually wanted to be a scientist like his father. He was very high intelligent, you know, and things like that. But when it was this girl, she popped up, and that girl, that was Lady Death, and she saw the potential that Thanos had, so she actually molded Thanos into the murderous person he is today. So yeah. How would you personally? Oh, so if you talking about Helen, supposed to be the god of death, that's two different deaths there. She might be the god of death, but she's only Asgardian gods of death. The death I'm talking about is actually death, Lady Death, death. She's pretty much what Ellen got. She pretty much can take it from Ellen with no problem, because she over Ellen, because why? Ellen have to die eventually, or can die, you know. And that's the reason why, because you got to think about it. That's the reason why Deadpool. No, that's not the reason why Deadpool can't die. The reason why Deadpool can't die because Thanos. I forgot what he specifically did that made Deadpool eternal. Like pretty much he cannot die simply because Lady Death does not love Thanos. Of course, you already know this. Does not love Thanos. Thanos, all he want is Lady Death love, but she don't love Thanos. On she see him as pretty much somebody she want him to take care of stuff when she want to get take care. She see him as a minion. Now, Deadpool, she actually loved Deadpool, and Thanos don't like that. So that's the reason why that's the reason why I was hoping that they would actually literally bring Lady Death in there for we can actually see that love triangle. I mean, in the last Deadpool movie, I thought that was Lady Death in there, but disguised as his girl, But no, there is a God of death and death itself. Like Thor is a god of thunder, but he is not thunder itself. Yeah, I figured that's what you were saying. Like Ellen, she's the Asgardian of death, and then you have who Thanos love is death itself. So yeah, I understand where you was coming from with that. But that's the reason why I see it, and that's the reason why I think that is what's going on with that. It's simply because of Ellen, she's the Asgardian death goddess, and then you got goddess of death, and there's two different beings. So therefore, the one that Thanos in love with should have been around Thanos in this whole Infinity Saga, but it wasn't. I think originally they was going with that, but then I think they decided not to go with that. So that's the reason why that Thanos storyline. I only enjoy watching Thanos because I'm a fan of Josh Brolin, but I do not like the Thanos storyline that they created for him. They made him really weak. They made him lean, or they made him actually lean on more like technological gadget than actually his own power. Because Thanos will blast you in a heartbeat. Of course, you know this, but Thanos will blast you in a heartbeat. I love to see more of Thanos' powers. If you think about it, we didn't see Thanos' powers at all. Only thing we saw Thanos did was a hand-to-hand fighting when he beat the Hulk down, and then when he was fighting the Avengers with the blade. We didn't never see him use the power at all. Only time we saw him use power was from the actually gauntlet. In all reality, Thanos really don't need the gauntlet to actually take out the Avengers, especially the small Avengers that he was fighting against at the beginning. He didn't need the gauntlet to take them out. Yeah. I mean, of course. I mean, you do have like different beings in there. I mean, because Thor is a god of thunder, but you got other people that have abilities with the thunder abilities. But most likely Thor is more powerful than that. Say like for Ellen, for instance, she's an Asgardian. She have death power. She's anybody. She have death, and then you got to think about it. Ellen only get powerful not when someone pass away. She only get powerful when she's there on Asgard. So her death power is actually truly limited to where she's actually at. Make her how powerful she is. Now, Lady Death, the person that actually had the true death power, she can be anywhere and continue to get power. That's the reason why she originally sent Thanos out to actually get that power. That they actually take out half of the people in the universe before she can get more powerful. Yes, it is too. It's like it is to some people have the exact same power, but who have more dominance of that power. And in this case, it would be Lady Death than Helen. Okay, if Lady Death is not a god, then what is she? And because, far as I know, Lady Death, she is a lot more powerful than Ellen could ever be, simply because she can bring people back to life. She can actually give people more power, like, because that's what she did with Thanos. She enchanted Thanos so he can have more power to actually pull off this mission she wanted to be pulled off. But he realized that it would still take him so long to actually pull off the mission that his love want him to do. So he went and started looking through something called the Infinity Well. And then he looked in Infinity Well. That's when he saw these Infinity Gems. Because they was called Infinity Gems at first, then he started calling them Infinity Stones. And then Thanos did. And that's when he discovered the Infinity Gems. And that's when he started seeking out the Infinity Gems to actually take out half of the people in the universe for his lady. He loved his life. That's how it's supposed to been, but it's not ain't happening now because they done did something with the Infinity Saga. They done switch that up. Okay, so Helen can't die. Where? In the comics or in the MCU? Because in the MCU she died. But then again, you can't really say that because you didn't see her actually dying. But I'm guessing that's the way if they decide to want to bring Helen back, they can bring Helen back, or they can just keep Helen dead. You know, it all depends on it. How can someone kill the god of death? Can I ask you a logical question? Yeah, you can ask me a logical question. That's one? How can someone kill the god of death? You saw Asgard blow up, right? Yeah, I saw it blow up. Yeah, I saw Asgard blow up, but did we see Ellen actually get vaporized? No, we didn't. That's what I'm saying. The way they did it, we say she did, but the way they did it, they can actually bring her back because the way they had her taken out. And they said, how can someone kill the god of death? I have no idea how someone could kill the god of death. I don't think that's possible, but I don't know. You know, so yeah, we saw Loki. Yeah, we saw Loki, but that make you wonder though. When Thanos said that it would be no more resurrection for you, so he told Loki and told everybody that it would be no more him come back to life. Now we do know the Loki series is coming out, so I'm guessing the Loki series gonna be dated back before all the Endgame come up to Endgame. So therefore, Loki is not going to be. I don't know how they're going to pull it off. Be honest with you, because I can sit here and try to like guess and think of it. Thanos full up. Yeah, he is. Yeah, because he actually never was a god. Thanos is not a god at all. He's just a powerful being, an eternal being that he actually, he go actually. Hey, what up, man? What's up? What up? So yeah, so I really don't know about Loki. I don't know how they're gonna do. I really don't know how this timeline with Loki is gonna happen. Is they gonna go with the timeline with Loki? You remember when in the Endgame when they went back and Loki got the Tesseract and he went through the portal? Is they gonna start a timeline from there? Now, if they started from there, that's understandable, and Loki comes back from there. But then again, because at this point in time, Loki do have information that he can actually change the flow of time from the information he did have before he went back, But I don't know how they're going to do the storyline. I'm still up in because Loki is dead. Thanos said Loki was not coming back, but yet we got a Loki TV series. I don't know anything where they doing the timeline. If anyone of y'all know where the timeline post is set there, please let me know. So Loki is like, you can't kill me, you idiot. Thanos doesn't understand. He's a half celestial and can't comprehend the power of a god. Some some reason he in love with Lady Death. Yeah, but the way they did with the storyline, Loki in the MCU, Loki is not an Asgardian by blood. He actually is a frost giant. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know if they're gonna actually put more incorporate with Loki in the frost giant. I love to see more about his frost giants, but they destroyed everybody. So I don't know. So Loki, he was in love with Lady Death too, huh? I didn't know that. That's something new. If I read you right, but I don't know how they're gonna do the storyline with Loki. Now I'm kind of like lost with Loki. I don't know how they're gonna do with Loki, but I do possibly that Thor might come into Loki. We might see Thor. We might see Freya. We might see Odin. We might see Sif. We might see the three buddies. You know what I'm saying, of Thor. You know, Lady Sif. We might see all of them. You know what I'm saying. So I don't know, but I do know what possibly might happen in Loki. He might pretty much try to go back and take over Asgard, like get rid of Thor, Odin, everybody, and he just pretty much rule Asgard. I know that don't be somewhere in the plans because it won't be Loki if he don't have that in the plan. Okay, no, Loki is in love with her. He is a god. He is a sister of goodness, God of death. He has a deal with death that he cannot die. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. That's good information to know right there. That's pretty good. Nah, I just thought of this metaphor. Okay, now check this out. What's up, Perry? So I was like, but check this out. Remember we was talking about before, and you were saying that Lady Death wasn't around Thanos and all that stuff. Like you maybe start thinking about you saying that comment right there. Metaphor is basically when he said, I'm just guessing, when he said, "There's no more life for you, no more resurrection." So he have a direct dealing with Lady Death herself. So, like I said, that she probably had more power. She's more powerful than Helen. So she probably actually stopped him for being resurrected. Because Thanos should have a better connection with death than he does. I don't know. Could be. Always lurking, right? Have you heard the changing Loki names to Loki? You been funny with Loki? They actually gonna do that? Or you been funny? I never heard of that. They changed the Loki name to Loki. That's pretty funny. I just don't understand Loki's deal. Remember, one of them is a god and the other isn't. Yeah, true. But you got to realize Thanos ain't no young cub either. Thanos been around a long time. According to the MCU, he's been around 1,000 years. Yes, but then I don't know how long Loki been around. I know Thor been around like 1,500 years. Well, I guess that'll be. I guess Loki would be around by like 1,500 years too. I mean, because they kind of grew up together. I mean, they did show a scene in them young boys, when the daddy was teaching them something. So it's a possibility. Though, Loki is a lot older than Thanos, because like I said in the MCU, they say he's 1,000, Thanos 1,000, Thor is 1,500, and I'm guessing Loki around that same age. So technically he is older than Thanos. So technically he could have a nice deal that Thanos will never know. Not because Thanos is not a god and he's a god. It's simply because he just know more than Thanos. He's been alive long more than Thanos. Because Thanos don't have to be a god to understand Loki. Thanos is very intelligent. And then you got to realize he actually is dealing with a goddess, a god of death, a goddess of death. So he should know about those type of things like that, because you can't have too much things going on with death, too much different rules. That this Ellen, her death rules a lot different from Lady Death rules. I mean, only thing that could be like kind of like twisted in a way is like the deals they make might be different. They have some difference in that. But other than that, that's where I just see it, His update is not. Oh wow! So that is low key. Okay, they just I don't know what they doing. That's pretty funny. It's not a comparison. Do you think Thanos could kill? Nah, I don't think Thanos have. I don't think Thanos could kill Odin. No way. Ain't no. I don't think he could kill Odin in the MCU. I definitely don't know that he can't kill Thanos. Can't kill Odin in the comic books because Thanos and Odin actually fought before. Of course, you know this already fought before, and they was going. You know, they was fighting, and Thor just. I mean, Odin just blasted them. You know, just boom, and Odin was actually using his full power whatsoever. You know, so I don't think nowhere near Thanos is more powerful than Odin in comics and the movies. You know, and then they actually watered down Thor too, because in all reality, if you're going based off the comics, if they Thanos is nowhere near powerful than Thor. Thor is a whole lot powerful than Thanos. Simply the reason why I say this because Odin, remember that's the demon Sutter. I can't pronounce his name, but the demon was in what it was Ragnarok. Well, that demon right there, Odin father and Odin brother fought that demon long ago. Odin father and Odin brother died in the battle against that demon, but Odin didn't. What Odin father and brother did transfer all their power to Odin. It became the Odin force. So that enhanced his power. So Odin had three. So Odin not only had his power to Odin had his power, then he had his father power to increase his power, then he had his brother power to increase Odin and his father power within Odin. So that made Odin extremely powerful. And so therefore the powers get passed down to the heir of the thrones, the way it was set up after that. So therefore, when Odin passed away, all that power should have went to Thor. So therefore, the Thor become the Thor force. So Thor not only have his power is increased by his father power, his grandfather power, and his uncle power. So Thanos technically could not beat Thor if they truly was actually doing it right. And I actually think they actually kind of like pretty much portray Odin in a way of power kind of decently, because like no one was more powerful than, where it seems like no one was more powerful than Odin in that universe. He's he's the all father and he's just really extremely powerful. That's what I'm thinking, you know? When Odin said that they are gods and that his sons are powerful than him, all father, the all fathers. Yeah, they might be more powerful than Odin. Odin might say that they're more powerful than him, but it still doesn't fact that his power will be, that Thor power will be increased with his power. You know what I'm saying? So his power will make Thor even more powerful. But I can see what you're saying, because I'm saying you saying that Thanos should be more powerful than Odin because he was technically what they have, that he was more powerful than Thor. But then you got to think about it. Was he really more powerful than Thor? Because like I was saying before, Thanos never used power. He never used like his power blasting. Like you got like everybody the only person that can beat Thor is Jane Foster. Yeah, Jane Foster could beat Thor, but yeah, I don't know. I never knew that. I never knew that. I don't even get down with Jane Foster that way. I don't really like that character that much. So I don't. You know. I mean, yeah, Odin said that. I mean, I don't remember all the lines that he said, but if Odin said that, of course. I mean, that's what he said in the MCU, of course. But yeah, like I was saying, that I could see that because the way they portrayed that Thanos is almost kind of like more powerful than Thor, but I never seen Thanos truly actually use his power. So I can't really base that off that the MCU version is more powerful than Thanos, but the way they have him, like they going hand in hand and all that, like he was more skilled than Thor, which doesn't make any sense to me why he's so skilled more than Thor, because Thor been battling in the MCU for like over 1,000 years. over 1,000 years. The man 1,500 years old. So I'm guessing most like he probably battling around by like when he was old enough to battle. So it possibly, I mean, we done seen stuff that the Vikings probably actually Asgardian trained their kids probably when they had a young age. We don't even know what Thor actually been in battle when he actually became imbattable, according to the Viking history, Asgardian history, that they started battling when they were small. So Thor been battling all these years, all these over 1,000 years. Thor been battling. Thanos just on 1,000 years old. He shouldn't have been able to beat Thor hand to hand. Thor should have been able to wipe the floor. Actually, Thor should have been able to wipe the floor with everybody because nobody haven't had that battle experience. You talking? A young Thanos versus an old Thanos. Now, I don't. Of course, the young Thanos and the old Thanos. None of the old Thanos and the young Thanos. None of them use powers. None of them use powers. So, because Thanos is supposed to know magic and all that stuff, he didn't use none of that. So for the power transition between the young one and the old one, is no difference. The only thing difference that I seen with the young one and the old one, that the old one could fight a whole lot better than the young one, because the young one looked like a big brute fighter. You know, he didn't have the skills like the younger one did. I mean, the older one did. New series coming out. Thanos. Oh, so they're coming out with a new Thanos series, huh? So if they do come out with a new Thanos series, I hope they actually be more of an origin story. They actually show people, you know. But if they ain't gonna, I'm gonna watch it regardless, because I want to see what Marvel does with it. But if they ain't gonna have Lady Death in it, I'm gonna let y'all guys know I'm not gonna be too much watching that show that much, you know, because you can't have a Thanos without Lady Death. You got to have it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Oh, that's what you mean. My bad. Oh, my bad. But that's pretty funny. But but yeah. So yeah. So for us, like the old Thanos and the old Thanos and young Thanos, they pretty much, only difference I could see between them is the fighting difference for the hand-to-hand combat. But for us, them the power, nah, this pretty much looked the same to me, because he didn't use no power. He didn't use none of that. And that was a good one, Breakfast series. That was a good one. Okay, guys. I went completely past my time, but hey, I said more at the end, though, right? So unless y'all want to say something, unless we want to discuss something before I head out. Let's want to y'all guys is great. We want to actually touch another topic right now. I'm about to go and head out. I'm so glad you guys showed up. Thank y'all for showing up. I'm about to go ahead and end this screen right now, unless it's a topic y'all want to talk about. And please hit that subscribe, like, share, hit that comments down below. Let me know what y'all think about this live stream, what y'all want me to discuss in future live stream and stuff like that. Hellboy cereal. Oh man, you was killing me, man. You killing me. But I thank you guys for showing. Thank you guys for showing out to this early morning, and thank y'all all for actually having fun with me, and ask me questions, give me new information that I don't know about, and I really appreciate all you guys. I love this community, and I appreciate that y'all show love back. And it's good time that you are a viewer going up. You better get some coffee. Yeah, it is going up though, right? Okay, so what I would do about like nah, I'm sorry, man. I got to go. I'll probably come back later. Most likely I try to come back later, but I got to go. It's really early for me in the morning, and I got to get some sleep. Other than that, I'll be messed up, So, okay, is it good to go? Loki. Yeah, Loki. I do more research on Loki, but I don't know too much about Loki. I really think that he actually gonna. I blame Perry. I need some cake. You got you killing me right now, metaphor. You killing me, man. You killing me, man. All right, cool, man. So, all right, guys. Love you all, man. Thank y'all for turning out. Catch y'all guys next time. Remember, y'all know it. We are comics. Later.